Good evening, everyone. This is the Great Pumpkin speaking, and welcome to this new stream of Final Fantasy XIII. So, this time around, we're actually gonna start doing the part of the main quest that will lead us up to Titan. You'll have to excuse me if I've been a little busy. I was checking for solving a few things on this and kinda lost track of time. So yeah. But hopefully things should look a tiny bit better. I've been noticing the stream was unusually dark, so I've been applying myself to try to fix that. So hopefully things should look a lot better, if not perfect. So anyway, we were off to speak with Minfilia, who wanted to ask us about our little trip back in Hockey Manor. So that's what we're gonna do. Hey lady. Wrath of the Titan. Minfilia is waiting to brief you and your fellow Scions on the new development. But yeah, get used to it. I feel like this is one of the more tedious part of the main quest. It does pick up afterward, though.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Ah, ever the sharp one, Y'shtola?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Lominsans has reawakened Titan.
Da da da.
Our task will be to slay the primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation.
That's actually one thing I've been wondering about. Were these primals actually in the original Final Fantasy XIV?
There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlvip hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you.
Well, if you say so.
I would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept?
Of course I will.
Thank you.
We can't very well send him to Lominsa without Y'shtola, can we, Minfilia?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Ariange, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan. little though it may be. You'll be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the sailor's ward.
If you say so.
Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
So that's taken care of. Pointless busywork-ho. Gotta say I don't care much for the original Y'shtola's look, which unfortunately is the one that they've used for Dissidia among others. I feel like her new one is much better, really. Thank you for agreeing to end Old Titan in the kobolds. Yep, the lot of elves are gonna do all the heavy lifting here. As Y'shtola mentioned, the mission will be fraught with danger, so we will want to spare no preparation. I shall look forward to your triumphant return, as shall all your comrades. And go with the blessing of the crystal. Well, ain't that nice? Now then, who do we got around here? Darustel. No matter one's past transgression, all who have seen the dream are welcome, even men such as we. I have heard offers such as these before, all were not but more than bait for the hangsman's noose. How about that? There's Bremont. Looks like the antecedents found herself a good crop of aspiring heroes. Aye, I reckon Eorzea'll be for all right, as long as these fine folks are around to protect her. Well, ain't that nice? Clive. I am told you are one of our finest, Kukumo. I suspect we will see much more of each other in the future. Actually, I didn't remember you at all. As the primals fall, so do our spirits soar. Though my aid may be but modest, I nevertheless am heartened in my duties. Wedge. I don't want to believe that Master Garland is dead, but the chief wasn't the type to cut and run off. He would have gone to Cartoneau. He would have been there when Dalamid fell, which meant... Well, if there's anything we can do to help, no matter how small, just ask. Broken carriage axle, cracked barrel, hells, even leaky bucket. Say the word and we'll fix it. Ain't that nice of him. Ollie, guarding Noraxia is a prestigious duty indeed. Arenvald is right to be excited. But he has never crossed sword with a Garlean before. I worry that will happen if he is forced to confront his father's countrymen. Kugumo, have you heard? I have been chosen to serve as Noraxia's bodyguard. There have been increasing reports of Imperial activity in Tanalan, and so the antecedent insists that our guests be escorted whenever venturing outside. I know how hard you of all people work to endear us to the sylphs. I swear to you that I will guard our honored guests with my life, and not allow your efforts to come to naught. Ain't that nice? Go for it, dude. Abatia. Congratulate the boy, Kukumo, chosen by the antecedent as the sylph's bodyguard. What an honor! Of course, this means that his dusty rag will no longer suffice. I say we get the boy a shiny new suit of silver armor, the kind the Sultansworn wear. We split the cost evenly and surprise him. Not bad, eh? I suppose so. Good for him. Harrybert. With this many people here, we need a culinarian of our own. We can't subsist on rations and preserve foodstuff forever. Well, I'm actually surprised they don't have somebody to handle that. I thought we took turn. Ida is on her way to Gridania to request aid of the Order of the Twin Adder. In the meantime, we must learn all we can of the primal titan. Literature may yield us the odd morsel of useful information, but there is no surer way than to seek the former members of the Company of Heroes. How about that? The Waking Sands sure is busy these days. Fresh-faced venturers eager to make their mark. Famous folk like you running off to face the bleeding Lord of Crags. Maybe it's time for me and the boys to retire. Venturing's a dangerous calling, after all. Be a little slow, be a little late, just once, and that's that. Yep. I'll actually explain things about the Echo relating to that, but that's besides the point. Leavine. You'll not believe it, but I've been summoned by Lady Minfilia. Do you suppose that she has an assignment for me? What I would not give to have something to fight for again, and yet I must not be overeager. Well, good for her. Noraxia. What? A decoy of some sort? This one has finally figured out a way to make walking ones be quiet. What does friendly one think? This one is very convincing, yes? Not so sure about that. Maybe it's the eyes, it's creepy. Anywho, that's taken care of, so let us be on our way. So we gotta speak with Rashat Riki, who is the commander of the Maelstrom. I'm not entirely sure. Basically, she holds the same position as Raban, despite the fact that Raban technically takes over the duties of the Sultana as far as fighting goes. Anywho, so to the Aft Castle. Seems to me like this thing I fixed might actually be a tad too bright. Not sure if I can't actually fix that just now. Well, we'll live with it. I might turn it down a little later, see what happens. For now, that's not too bad. We used not to be able to see much back when we were actually at night, so that's good. Rashat Riki. Good to see you, Private Lalakuma. The Scions sent word that you were on your way. To business, then. It is as we told the antecedent. The kobolds have once again summoned Titan. A little over a moon ago, we began to observe the beastmen moving south in increasing numbers from Ogomoro. Our scouts subsequently confirmed the object of their aggression. Crystals, fodder for the fell primal, says Merylwib. Oh, both of my bosses are there. How lovely. Well, if we don't count Minfilia. Thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Your deeds bring glory to the Maelstrom, Private Lalakumo. Right proud I might call you one of our own. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address Kukumo personally. We are no strangers to conflict. Long have the Sahagan and kobolds plagued our people. Nor is this the first time that we have had to address a primal threat. In the past, when Titan rose to threaten the peace, it was the company of heroes we turned. But they are long disbanded, and we must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So it is that we turn now to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Limsa's best hope. I hope you're right, yet the situation is far from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the Thalassocracy make pact with the beastmen that each would keep to their own lands, and that no blood would be shed? And was it not the Lominsans who violated this agreement, dissatisfied with her lot? Shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. I would advise you to choose your words with greater care, Lady Y'shtola. Stand down, High Commander. She has the right of it. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it. Yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from Titan's wrath. Or would you have us fall upon our swords? My apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Lominsa's citizenry are, of course, of paramount concern. Already we have observed disruptions in the flow of ether further inland. The effects will be felt here in the city ere long. I ask much of you, I know, but the need is great. I trust I can count on you, Private. Sure can. You have my thanks, along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. That the kobolds should summon Titan demonstrates they are no longer amenable to negotiation. This being the case, we must need prepare for conflict. Before we meet Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can of our foe, and I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. The company of heroes may be no more, but several of its former members still live. It is said that one of them is employed at the Greyfleet Mills in Lower Lanossi. Quite why a mercenary should choose to become a miller, I do not know. When you find him, mayhap you could ask him for me. I, meanwhile, shall seek his fellows. Well then. Apparently something I need to do. A pop no longer, how about that? I think that's related to the Chocobo companion, actually. But for now, let us proceed. Where was that again? Okay, that would be here. Do we have anything close? Closest is Morabi Dry Dock, which isn't right for our purpose. So we need to go through the gate to Lower Lanase, basically. Alright. Tempest Gate we go. Alrighty. Now then. It's all the way over here. Quite far, too. I do not remember if I actually talked to the Chocobo Keep here. I'm going to take for granted that I didn't. Yeah, pushed it a little. The night sky is a little pale for my taste. Been trying to solve these things for quite a while, and yet hasn't stumbled upon something that's worth it. Might be that I'll call reinforcements on this particular issue, but for the time being, we're gonna have to make do with what we've got. Furious farmer, eh? Well, about that. Gotta find this trash tomb fellow. What it turns out is this evil Rogadin. Big surprise there. They do like their Rogadin in Lumsa. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Alrighty then. Oh, there she is. The Company of Heroes is the most celebrated mercenary band in the history of Eorzea. Even so, I must admit I had never met one of their numbers face to face. I imagined that a warrior who had toppled both Titan and Leviathan would seek to bask in a lifetime of fame and glory, yet he seems to have settled in a place distinctly bereft of adoring crowds. How about that? There's Treshum. Lay down your burden, son. Come drain a pint with me. We'll have a grand old time. Find you a lass or tree. You gonna say something, venturer? Or just keep staring? Eh? You want to know about the Company of Heroes? Ah, hells. Price of bleeding fame. Can't the millers mill in peace no more? Still, seeing as you've come all this way, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to oblige you. Consider yourself lucky, mate. Old Trashtomb was the company's best axeman. Now, what was it you wanted to know? Nothing useful. Well, that's fine. Tales from the Titus Slayer. Trashtomb is eager to regale you with stories of his glory days. Ha 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 ha. So you want to hear the tale of how the Company of Heroes best a primal, do ya? Let me guess, you mean that bastard Titus, eh? Oh, if only you've been there to see it. 'Twas a mighty struggle, like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights, we did. The ground trembled with every step Titus took, and when he hit you, boy, I felt like a cannonball to the gut. Ugh, just like that. What's that look for? I'm a goddamn hero, I'll have you know. The people around here sing me praise. Don't tell me you only care about learning the secret tactics we used to beat old Titus. Yep, that's the gist of it. Huh, well too bad, cause now I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so damn desperate, then why don't you do me a favor and kill those rats that have made a nest by the windmill just south of here? Aye, do that, and then we'll talk. That's a big bulge you got there. I wish you'd put on some pants. Subliggers are creepy. Yeah, creepy. It's like that lady pretty much skipped the cutscene, such as it is. But yeah, this thing about him calling him Titus is actually a reference to Final Fantasy X for its main character. Well, she got tired of it. Good for her. Or not. Alrighty. Oh no, there was another one. The Rat King, eh? That explains it. Well, she did heal me, so I suppose that's nice of her. That pacification for a couple seconds is actually pretty neat. Bunch of Mandragoras there. Learn to hate those things a lot from Record Keeper. Whee! So the beasties are dead, are they? Nice work, Venturer. Saved me the hassle of... never mind. So nothing I need, basically. Hungry Gobus. Trash Tomb appears to be ignoring you. What? You're still asking about how we beat Titus? I do know, Venturer. It was a pretty risky strategy, the kind only a veteran of 10 scores battles could rely upon. I want to teach you, I truly do, but unless you prove you have what it takes to face that fat bastard, I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, you need to be capable of slaying, say, a Gobu. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. Them creatures have a taste for the floor milled here, so you ought to have no trouble finding one in the vicinity. Of course, I ain't asking you to cut one down quick as a skilled axeman like myself. Anyhow, why don't you try heading due west and stand on the lookout in case a Gobu comes calling? Slay it, and I might consider telling you more about old Titus. So he's sending me to die, basically. I see how it is. Looks better than usual, though. How about that? Them fat birds. Whoa. Gobu Farmer. Moldy Sneeze. It's a strange thing when you think your signature move is actually to sneeze. Well, I mean, there is a precedent of this with Typhon in the Final Fantasy VI, but still. It's also mold. Which is a little disgusting, to be honest. Well, let us be on our way. Hey there, Han. Yeah, you again? Then that Gobu that was harassing the millers is dead? Didn't think you had it in you, Adventurer. Still, you took forever and a day to get the job done. I'm still not sure if I should tell you our secrets. Well, ain't that nice of him? The Lominsan way. Trashdoom remains unconvinced of your readiness to defeat the dread primal Titus. Funny thing, there's actually a Final Fantasy X event rolling on Record Keeper, also centering on Titus and Jest as it happens. I never get anything good from Final Fantasy X, always get Jest stuff, which I hate. So, as I was saying, I still don't know if you've got what it takes to face Titus. Maybe if you slew, Trash Tomb, you in here drinking again. If you are that gob, you had better be dead. Greyfleet Miller. Oh, it's dead, Chief. You have me word on that. Cleave the beast skull in two with me trusty axe I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend here say if I ask him? He'll vouch for me, of course. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true. Was it Trash Tomb who slew that Gobu, or was it you? Chief, what are you saying? It's me, Trash Tomb, the finest axeman ever to serve in the company of heroes, the legendary mercenaries who slew that bastard Titus. Titus? Titus? Who in the seven hells is Titus? Some primal you fought in a drink-sodden dream? The company of heroes slew Titan, you bloody half-wit. Well, you see, Titus was what me and the lads used to call him. That's the biggest little Sahagin shite I've ever heard. Both of you, outside, will learn the true Lominsan way. Trash Tomb, if you didn't slay that Gobu, you may consider your contract revoked. Well, that ain't looking good for this guy. They call me a working man. I reckon that's what I am. Drinking under the chief's nose, sneaking out the back door, and nobody'll ever know. Got no idea of what air I was supposed to use there. But anyway, the Lominsan way. Now then. Alright, you know the rules. First man to smash his boulder will be judged to be the Gobu's slayer. And don't even think about trying to kill me, that's cheating. Who picked these boulders? They're nothing like. Ah, the hell with it, let the contest begin. I am taking the big one, no problem. Take this! Funny thing is that in the quest to become a marauder, you also end up actually having to, shall we say, destroy a number of boulders with your axe moves. How you doing, mate? Feeling a bit stiff by any chance? Yeah, only killing's against the rule. Hee hee. You're still at it? Bugger me, 'tis lucky I've got one of these. Oh no you don't. You little cheater. 15 seconds to self-destruct. Hee. Thanks for hitting my rock. Despite the fact that it'll never do that. Me arms! Me bleeding arms! Say what you will, but I'm competitive. Despite actually never winning. My history as a Warhammer 40k player can attest to it. Although I did do well in War Machine. Must have had a good faction, I wager. Alright, I admit it. I lied about being in the company of heroes. But I'm begging you, Chief, please don't dismiss me. I've learned me lesson, honest I have. Save your blubbering, Trash Tomb. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please. I didn't want to deceive you, I swear. It's just that I kept getting turned away by all the folks I asked for work, and I panicked. See, the last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I heard he was captain in the company of heroes, I finally understood why. I wasn't being serious when I said I was one of them, but you went and believed me, so I... Look, his name was Wastegate, alright? Wastegate. He'll tell you how to defeat Titus or whatever the hell that thing's name is. That's what you wanted, ain't it? So come on then, tell the chief to forgive me. It's only fair. Dude doesn't seem to care. He seems rather jolly. So anyway, that's taken care of, so it's off to Costa del Sol for us. Which, as it turns out, I've already unlocked. I've mentioned before, an obvious reference to Final Fantasy VII in this particular case. The remake is coming pretty quick. I'm sure a lot of people are stoked about that. Me, meh. Don't particularly care either way, but I figure I'll end up playing this on stream at some point, when I run out of content to actually do in the old expansions at any rate. So there's Wise Kate. Caught up with the little lady there. Pardon? You wish to slay the Lord of Crags? We must slay him, Captain. The people of Lominsans are depending upon us. You fancy yourselves heroes then, just like in the tales? Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate here has baited in for its hellfire and lived. He is blessed with a power that protects him from primal influence. Thus was he able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno, which makes you wonder if those guys actually defeated Titan and maybe even Leviathan. Well, how come they didn't get tempered? There's a hole in the story. We know full well the risk, and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray be good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A man who can be tempered. Useful, but it will not be enough. It is true that the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was brought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. Aye, we defeated him, in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed. Believe what you will, we mean to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa without a wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserve better than the greeting I gave you. But I will not send you into Ogomoro on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances that you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Gegeruju's estate. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by attending to one of our... Ye gods, man! Have you heard nothing I have said? We have not time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, then you're welcome to find your own way into Ogomoro. Though it pains me to admit it, I fear we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet much remains to be done if we are to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use the time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well. Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Lominsa hangs in the balance. Lazy thing. Get back here. So anyway, next. Wisecate would first like to verify that you are not a complete fraud. Nix that. Nerf this! Master Gegeruju requests can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you on to your true task, I would like to verify that you won't be a waste of my time. Nix has recently been seen prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want large slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring it out with herring. Slay the Nix and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. So basically, it's the exact same thing we did for Trash Tomb, except this guy will actually have info for us. But yeah, need water around here. If you want to have a party, there are worse place. Am I going the wrong way? As it turns out, I am. There we are. Well, I'm supposed to hide, am I? If I must. Inflated Nix. Come on, hon. Things are starting to get big. Labored leap. That's a weird thing, really. Just as he leaps, you can get back in and it'll do nothing. That's the thing about AoEs. You need to know where they when they explode, and then afterward, you can actually get right back in. There are a few raid mechanics that actually depends on this, as do a few dungeons. It's actually something that will be useful on Titan. I'll tell you about it once we get there, assuming he has time to do the move. The normal version of Titan is actually fairly easy. At least compared to the hard version, or even the extreme version. And the hard version easy enough now, but you know. A lot of people have trouble with it because they can't actually toss you out of the arena, which means instant death. A lot of the fights that actually do this ends up being some of the more difficult. Like for instance, Extreme Leviathan actually does that. Not the hard version though. Thank God it doesn't. Well, did you deal with the Nyx? I sure did. Lest you think me overly cautious for testing you in this way, you should know that we had an accident not long ago. Foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed to have served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyway, now that the pointless busy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befit your talents. Well, I'm not sure. That's a lot of pointless busy work, seems to me. Weiskeet has an important mission for you. Two highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gigeruju wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Gigeruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, and so, Kukumo, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Landonel at Camp Tranquil. What? Do you mean to tell me that you cannot afford to waste time, as your associate did? Adventurer, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. So yep, as I said, there's actually more pointless busy work coming our way. Well then. There he is. Hi. Never doubt that Camp Tranquil has a powerful protector in the Sixth Spear. You have heard of the prowess of Captain Landonel, of that I am certain. Do you require assistance, adventurer? So this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you, Kumo. The ingredients you seek is the egg of a giant adamantoise. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest, of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Many who try die in the attempt. Will I help you get it? Ha! You amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position by openly assisting you. From me, you will receive only information. What you do with it is your choice. The penitent man. Landonel needs to explain a few things to you. Let me be clear. This business between you, me, and Captain must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time spent with the company in the slightest. Traveling the world, meeting interesting people, killing them. 'Twas all jolly good fun. Alas, Gridanians are by and large an unforgiving lot. Ditto here being a rare exception. I have had to go to great lengths to ensure that I am seen as a model citizen, with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities I so dearly miss. So understand that if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails that hang you from the nearest heavens pillar. Now then, where were we? Ah, yes, the egg. The first thing you must do is deal with the sentries patrolling the Adamantoise breeding grounds. Poaching is illegal in Gridania, in case you weren't aware. Shame we have so few whalers to spare, especially with brownie brushes almost in season. Matron forfend if agaric flies claimed the crop before we received additional sentries. Aye, we will also soon need barrels of sting brew to weaken and ward off the pests. But if any of the Vilekin were found near the shrooms before we can take preventive measures, we would be forced to shift our patrols immediately. You will, of course, notify me if you encounter any agaric flies in the vicinity of the lower paths, yes? Well, you see, I have a friend that would like, Nonsense. So anyway, off to the lower paths to look for brownie bushes and flies. Whatever those are. And there's an adamantoise there. Or adamantoise. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, to be honest. But that's besides the point. Alrighty. Hey, Han. Wow, those things are tough. That might take a while. Oh wait. The Sting Brew, of course. Come on. There. This thing, while healing him, will make him much more manageable. That's something to keep in mind. Whenever they give you an item for a particular quest, you should attempt to use it on the beasties. Especially if they downright tell you. But I wasn't really reading what this guy was saying, so... Sometimes it's a little mechanical during those streams, unfortunately. As it turns out, running my mouth so much actually ends up with me getting a little tired at times. Yeah. Well then. Back to Camp Tranquil with us. I always found the way this camp was made to be really strange. What are those rock formations somehow ending up in this particular fashion? Anywho. Hey Han. I pray this camp's year's crop of brownie bushes comes late. Oh my, is this brownie brush? And you say you slew a whole swarm of Garrick flies? Matron's teats, we cannot wait for reinforcements. We must do something. If you say so, Han. Changing of the guard. Landinel has an urgent request for a kind adventurer. This Garrick fly infestation requires our full attention. I thank you for bringing it to my attention, adventurer. If I may impose upon your kindness further, I would ask you to inform my subordinates of this dire development. I have 3 whalers currently standing guard in Roots Lake. Inform each man that they are to proceed to the lower paths and search for Garrick fly swarms until further notice. Quite tolerant that Mikote Keeper of the Moon is. Because this guy is clearly playing with him. Honest wood whaler. Agaric flies in the lower paths? Then I mustn't delay. Thank you for relaying Captain Landinel's orders, adventurer. Sending him on a wild goose chase, more like. Which is closest? About the same. Okay, water sprites. Oh, and hostile ones to boot. Message from the captain. Damn it. Alright. If you're gonna be that way. I am taking quite a bit of damage from these. That's a little worrisome. Although the fact that the general levels of enemies where we are has increased actually makes me rather confident. We were starting to get a little over leveled, so... I'd actually need to start to use those boiled eggs I've been carrying around but always forgot to actually use. There we are. Message from the captain! Damn, those Valkyns are a danger to travelers on the road. I will depart immediately. And off we go. Even got a few more ball around there. Stropers, as they are called. Rather ugly things. Stodgy wood whaler. What's that? Everyone is to search the lower paths for garrick flies. I know we haven't had to deal with poachers recently, but I cannot help but worry that they will strike in our absence. But an order is an order. Well then, back to the dude. Okay. The dragoon is cutting it close. Londonell. I take it you have informed my men, then. Excellent work, Kukumo. However, I cannot keep the roosters distracted for too long. If you wish to pillage the hen house, you must do so now. Trial by Turtle. Londonell is wondering why you are still here. Well, what are you waiting for? There's a perfectly good Adamantuos egg in a nest to the east of here, just ripe for the taking. Not that I expect you to live long enough to claim it. The mother never strays far from the child, and you will surely be attacked the moment you lay hands upon the egg. There will be other heroes, Kukumo. You do not need to challenge Titan. Abandon your quest, or your corpse will rot in this swamp. Given that there aren't so many adventurers with the Echo, I actually think that there won't be other heroes besides me. I actually know about it. Although there is one that has stepped up to the plate recently, but that's besides the point. Here we are. Adamantois Hag. And there she is. And she's a big one. Does make me look badass, though. Always forget to stun him. Been playing range class for too long. It's made me lazy. Alrighty. I'll just take that egg. Fortunately, it's bad to separate families, but we don't have much of a choice here. That egg won't stay alive very long, if it was at all. I thought you might have the good sense to leave this place, but your continued presence, I take it you intend to persevere to the bitter end. Ha ha ha, such bravery, such recklessness. That will serve you well against Titan. Leave the egg with me. I'll see that it gets to the captain. You should make haste to southern Tanland. In Forgotten Springs, you will find a man named Uod Nun. He will be your next guide. Safe travels, Kukumo. Did I get that either right, though? Not sure. Doesn't look like I did. The last one I had was Little Amigo. Well, it's a nice trip, so we'll enjoy the sights while we can. And off we go. Brandorn. Huh. As I said, Game of Thrones name. Man, this place is so far off. You need to go all the way through Zanrak. Still, Tanland is lovely this time of year. A lot of you will actually probably enjoy this particular part. As it turns out, we are going to a village of Sunseeker Mikodes, who are ever the popular ones. Despite having some rather misogynic culture, such as it is. But then again, it's a weird thing. It seems to be based on the way people of the lion species seems to behave. In that usually the male actually doesn't do a whole lot, and as it turns out, the women are actually the huntresses. Which is strange, considering that the lion is known as the king of the jungle, yet the males actually don't do much usually. But then again, I'm not teaching you anything there, I assume. It's rather common knowledge, as far as I know. But yeah, dunes as far as the eye can see. This is a proper desert, alright. It's missing a few cacti, though. They're on the south with the zombies and whatnot. Isn't actually much, how can I say, known serials involving deserts and zombies. Usually it's all about mummies and whatnot. Not that these aren't pretty much the same thing, with the exception of the thing about curses and whatnot. And here we are, the home of the Oo tribe. Not sure which one it was. I know the I is the Buffalo tribe, this one I'm not sure. So there's Uod Nunt. State your business, adventurer. Snort. Ha. So this is the one Weiskeet sends me. I haven't the foggiest what he sees in you, and until I do, you will receive no aid from me. Who are you, Tony the Tiger? I suppose that was the joke. Level up! Uod Nunt is attempting to ignore you. As you learn throughout side quests in this, which we won't actually do, you should know that none are actually the leader of the Seeker of the Sun tribes. They are basically the breeding male of the tribe, and the only one who gets to mate with the women. So yeah, the other ones are actually called Tia, which is a title. Tias can either leave the tribe and become Nun in their own right by forming a new family, or otherwise serve under the Nun, unfortunately, or at least hope to challenge him and take over in this place as it is. Persistent bugger. Very well, let's have a look at you. You've got weird ears, dude. You've seen your share of battle, there's no mistaking that, and you did manage to obtain that Adamantoise egg. However, that was not more than a display of brute force and blind courage. The Nun I once fought also believed that his strength would save him. He was wrong, and now I am none. Many years ago, I joined the company of heroes to own my skills, instead of challenging my predecessor before I was ready. Even when I was young, I understood that victory goes to the patient, the cunning, the pragmatic. That is why I claim my position, and it is why I still hold it, and it is why I will not help an unproven whelp. The children of the sands do not offer aid to strangers, and to do so is a sign of weakness. However, if you were recognized as a skilled hunter in your own right, it would be permissible to assist you. A child who wishes to become a hunter must collect the blood of 7 sundrakes. You are not a child, so you may find this to be easy, but you are not of the Oo tribe, so perhaps not. I will consider your request once you have brought me the blood, and not a moment sooner. So seeking to prove yourself to the adults, are you? Me and my big mouth. But yeah, the quests around here are actually rather interesting, so you should definitely give them a shot if you get the chance. There's also a fairly secret pad around here, which I'm gonna show you right now. Gonna get called the pig, but no matter. So yep, apparently there are peepumptoms around here, and a few ladies enjoying the water. Good for them. Anywho, let's get that chocobo going and be on our way. You'll notice a few sandworms around. as well as this little place, which I'm not sure what it is. But apparently somebody did some drilling around here. Perhaps those are simply old ruins, who knows? There are a few interesting quests in this particular area too, and it's also a good place to actually gather mithril. So, you know, if you're looking for stuff, that's a good place to start. Smoke bombs around here are also used for the hunting log of a few classes. So if you're looking for them, well, there they are. And there's our sundrakes. I think that's a zombie, isn't it? Yep, fallen pikeman. The most gentlemanly of all zombies. That's something we'll learn about a little later. Man, are those things big. I haven't felt so small since I played a lot of Hell. Burning Cyclone. Good luck with that. There are also mount versions of these if you do the Beast Tribe quest for the Amalja. But that is besides the point, I suppose. To give you a general idea of the place, but don't be afraid to branch out. Like this, you might get a chance to actually find something interesting. Kinda hoping I'll get my DPS combo pretty soon. Probably once I reach level 35 and do my class quest. Actually, let's have a look, why not? So, actions. Sentinel, definitely not. Sword Out will be level 35, so not right there. I think that's Goring Blade, which is level 54. Might take a while. Oh well, no matter. Get here, you damn dirty drakes. He's used blaze spikes, which will be dealing fire damage to me. Don't care much about this really though. Still, that combo we're doing right now with Fury of Alone is actually rather synonymous with the Paladin class. You'll see that fairly often, usually on NPCs. Hey there, hon. I'ma flash you. Got such a bright smile that all my enemies cowers. Ah, pacification actually didn't stop his skill. Or perhaps it did. Now I am on defense. Actually, showing the enemies on the map for the quest is actually a nice little feature for this game. I wish more games did that. There's nothing more annoying than actually running around aimlessly. Which is one of the things that was a problem with the original World of Warcraft. All the guidance you got from reading quest text, which I say should have been standard for most games. But, you know, just knowing where your general objective is goes a long way to taking all the guesswork out of it. Thankfully, they'll make the remake of WoW Classic actually much easier, supposedly. But it might be necessary for old websites, such as, for instance, Todbot, Alakazam, or whatnot, to help out with quests to be readily available. Man, those were the days. Wouldn't play it again, though. I know some of my coworkers were actually fairly hyped about it, but I figure I've already played it enough. Couldn't be bothered to even play Battle of Azeroth, really. And I really liked what they did, what with this Andalari there. But what they're doing with the Horde right now, well, meh. People are actually fairly hyped. They're releasing the new zone, Mechagon, involving some special types of gnomes, apparently, as well as Najdatar, which is the seat of Queen Ajara and the Nagas. That ought to be interesting. So long as they avoid doing the old Vizier thing, treaty zones never work out. Unless it's just for flight, that is. But that's besides the point. So let us go to the Forgotten Springs then. And go see Tony the Tiger. There's actually a cute story about that. We had a guy that was called Anthony at work, and one of the guy that arrived actually got called that for a while as a joke when he got introduced to other people. So he had this paper with Tony the Tiger that said, "My name is Tony." When I arrived, I actually called him that because I didn't know any better. I will not help in improved wealth. Bring me the blood, or we have nothing to discuss. You know, that haircut actually suits her pretty well. That's neat. The earrings definitely help, though. You are a hunter of beasts. This much I know to be true. But Titan is no mere beast. If you mean to hunt a god, you must prove much more to me. Again. Not sure if it's an upgrade, but I'll take it. You are none. Want you to hunt the most dangerous game. Hunting a beast is a simple affair. You merely stalk, pursue, and slay. Hunting a beastman, however, is a far more complex endeavor. Across the desert to the east lies an Abalja encampment. There dwells a warrior renowned both for his strength and his guile. To even face this Abalja in battle, you must first find a way to lure him away from the encampment. This will be your test, to draw out and defeat the veteran. For this, I will offer you no advice, only this sworn spear. Why, you ask? You will have to solve that riddle yourself. Now go, slay this old warrior, and bring to me his necklace. What are you gonna do with it? Try to impress your fellow ladies with your trophy, eh? Not that they have much of a choice in the matter. As I said, a bit misogynic. But then, you know, it was a different time. Actually, it wasn't. But technically, Eorzea is somewhere around the time when, you know, things like gunpowder and whatnot started to get to arrive. But in this particular case, people still use stuff like magic, swords, and whatnot. Not that magic was ever a real thing, mind you. Yep, steps in the sand. Woohoo! It's a nice touch they do there. They do that with snow and whatnot. Nice clouds we've got there. So, destination. We're gonna be issuing a challenge, I take it. Lie in wait for the Amalja. If I must. Stone Spike, Tanat Ga. Oh, this dude is huge. Actually, everything is huge. He's a pugilist, too. That's a really dumb move, actually, it turns out. End fire. Imbuing himself with fire on his auto attack. Strangely enough, none of the main classes actually use that, although it's similar to some of the abilities that were given away in Final Fantasy XI. This game's skill system seemed to be a little weird, but then again I can judge because I never tried it. So, back to the Forgotten Springs then. My apologies. Been feeling a little tired today. Worked hard, too. Tell me, adventurer, is our old nemesis dead? That he is. This fine necklace, as befit a veteran of countless battles, it will make an excellent trophy. The spear, it belonged to one of his brothers. I knew when he spied it from afar he would be unable to resist venturing outside the encampment to see for himself. Did you discern my intent, or was it dumb luck, I wonder? Hehehe. Either way, you impress me, adventurer. I shall tell you of the ingredient you seek. Thank you, Tony. You unknown's finally willing to tell you the ingredient he seeks. You seek, that is. A shame we did not meet when I was still in the company of heroes. You would have made a fine recruit. But no point dwelling on what cannot be. You have a Welwick worm to hunt. Sandworms slither brazenly across the desert dunes, but Welwick worms are far fewer in number. Rarity breeds demands, and so their meat is highly prized as a delicacy. I don't know, I wouldn't feed on worms myself. The only way to catch your quarry is to entice it with something it cannot resist. These worms prey on the smaller creatures of Sagoli. A freshly slaughtered angler carcass would be my choice of bait. There is an area teeming with anglers to the east. I will mark it upon your map, along with the location where Welwick worms are most frequently sighted. Be warned, the blood will drive the worm into a feeding frenzy. If your skills are lacking, it will devour you as well. This is great! Ah, man. You guys must be screaming at the scream for me to shut up right now. Anywho. Said slay an angler. So am I supposed to kill one of these? I assume so. It's got derpy eyes. Alright, that wasn't it. Well, now we know. There they are. Was about the same, really. They're just being contrarian. Alrighty. Now off to hunt us a worm. Got a crocodile skin. Once upon a time reference. I like the series, but kinda dropped it when I heard they were going to the Peter Pan mythos. I don't know. Maybe I should watch it again. I don't know. Kinda stopped making sense at some point when... Gee, is it a good idea for me to give spoiler there? Probably not. See that? While I did manage to avoid the AoE, as I was still there when it actually exploded, so I ended up being blind. Actually, the solution in those particular cases is actually not to dodge to the side like I do, but rather going forward. That way you're closer to get out of the AoE range. You could even stay even closer and have actually an easier time to even doing that, either from the side or from the front. But anyway, back to the Nant. As I said, pointless busy work. You look well. Have you caught your quarry then? Quarry! Your skills as a hunter rivals those of our best. I applaud your success, Kukumo. The meat will need to be heavily smoked before I ship it to Wyskate. Worry not, you have my word that you will receive it in time for the banquet. You must be eager to obtain the third ingredient. I regret to say that I know not of its location. For the nonce, you should return to Costa del Sol and seek Wyskate counsel. Ah, but hold a moment. Since you will be meeting the captain again soon, there is something I would like you to deliver to him for me. How about that? There and back again. The title of Bilbo Baggins' book, as it turns out. Book, not book. Who Nant would like you to deliver a gift to Wyskite. The captain was always fond of his brandywine. I would be grateful if you could recover it on my behalf. I was reckless, angry youth when I first joined the company, and he would have been well within his rights to cast me out. Everything I have, I owe to his wisdom and generosity. Wyskite was a firm yet fair teacher, an expert molder of men, and I suspect that is still the case now. Please give him my regards, Kukumo. Alright, it's over with the Tony the Tiger jokes. Now we can go back to Costa del Sol. We aren't done by a mile, but still we're getting somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, we've got some quest involving wine and then another about cheese. Because the cheese stands alone. Chibi Bonki, eh? Well met, Kukumo. Landinel and Uod Nunt both spoke highly of you. What brings you here today? Ah, my favorite. I shall have to thank the Don personally. Now, you have but one ingredient left. Fortunately, you will not have to travel to Aldenar this time to obtain it. How about that? As it turns out, I might be wrong about the wine. Might be something else entirely. Could be a sub-quest, actually. Wyskite would like to tell you about the final ingredient needed for the banquet. Truth be told, I never intended for you to collect this last ingredient. Brayflox, my old quartermaster, wished to bring it to Costa del Sol herself. However, not long ago, she sent word that there's been some trouble at the Longstop, and that the delivery would be delayed indefinitely. She told me nothing of the incident itself, but I fear the situation may be dire. Though I would like nothing more than to aid her myself, I have no choice but to turn to you and your allies. Make haste to the Hidden Falls docks, and speak with Ozun Nazun. He will direct you to Raincatcher's Gully, where Brayflox and her peoples have made their home. So, where was that again? No, it's not over there, so we need to go over there on foot. That's annoying, they're giving us a breadcrumb to actually get to the other side. But I'm pretty sure I've already done that work. Oh, the things we do for cheese. You'll actually find yourself coming back to Costa del Sol quite a bit. They like playing with Master Gigeruju as well as it being involved in the Hildebrand questline. Which we'll see at some point. But not quite yet, there's so much content to do yet, so meh. Oh, a few kobolds there, by the way. They're a bit high level for my taste, though. Oh my! One of those large buffaloes. There's Ozunazun. That's a weird name for a Lalafell. What's the hurry, venturer? Eh, something happened over at the Gobby settlement. I don't know why you're so eager to help a bunch of beastmen, but go and tell it to the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry you to Raincatcher Gully. As you've noticed, not all of the goblins, despite being beastmen, are actually hostile. Few of them are. Most of them are actually rather friendly and personable. Anywho. Did I actually take Wineport? We are close by after all. Wine port, I did. Good. So, we gotta find Brayflox all talks. You'll see Brayflox a few times before this is over. Most notably in the next dungeon we're about to undertake, in its art version, and then afterwards during the Alexander storyline as it turns out. So yeah, unfortunately she doesn't die in this. Sorry to disappoint you with spoilers. Not that there was much doubt, really. These things don't look like raptors to me. Look rather clownish, to be honest. Brayflox all talks. Shh, caw. Tongue flaps of Wisecad be reaching ears of Brayflox. Uplander is come for tasty fresh gobby treats, yes? Quest prize of Uplander deep in Longstop. Flighty beast chase gobby flock from home. Gobby folk flock needs goodly Uplander give safety to Longstop through with much handlending. How about that? And the Brayflox Longstop is now accessible. Well, ain't that nice? So let's see. Do I feel like doing a dungeon tonight? Don't really feel like it, but meh, why the heck not? Let's do this. So I'll just switch over for a second, given that I'll need time to actually fire up Record Keeper. Not that this might actually be a problem, because all we need is a healer right now. Okay, let me just adjust this a tiny bit. I'll be looking for a new background for this at some point. Kinda like to get something similar to those Magicets, what with all of the various bosses. Anywho, so what I've been doing right now is actually farming the Holy 4-star Magicet to actually improve my stable and give me a little break while I try to do the 4-star Dark Magicet. So we're gonna be facing off against Siren again. I've got something that's fairly tight, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Well, I'm not sure I'll finish it if the queue pops quickly enough. Alrighty. I'm not still quite good enough to actually sub 30 error, but I'm pretty close. Figure if I could find a proper setup, that might actually work. Anywho, Forbidden Power, Sephiroth can use the shield, Shalga, boost your thing, you as well. I'm not giving Garland the 2 soul breaks to improve my dark damage just yet, as a lot of my character actually needs a little wind up before they get online, so... I figure it's better to just keep life siphoning, such as it is. Elora has an accessory that gives her protection against silence, which is a bit of a problem. Oh. Well, apparently that won't be an issue anymore. Whoops. You guys saw nothing. Oh well, you guys will get to see me fail at being a tank again. Lovely. Let's put up shield out. That'll be useful. There we go. As per usual, we'll be looking at the cutscene once we are done here. Not really any special story thing going on here, so that's good. Hey guys! I'm gonna be your tank today. Please be nice. So we are with the Dragoon and the Black Mage. Multiple would be useful, but this place doesn't allow for a lot of it. Okay. Okay, she's there. Good. Hey, you. Not very efficient for the Black Mage, as it turns out. But no matter. It also gives me an occasion to actually gauge their potential. As you can see, those things are rather tanky. Hey there, little thing. Good thing is, I actually seem to be getting a little better at pulling, so that's good. Probably because I'm not thinking too much about it. That usually makes things easier. Oh, attacking those ones, are they? Alright, fine with me. Male Mikote White Mage. That's actually rather rare. Alrighty. Let's go speak with the Goblin Pathfinder to obtain the key that we'll need to open the gate to the boss. And done. Let us be on our way. Whee! Let's make sure we wait for everyone. Surely the healer doesn't seem... okay. He's probably good now. Alrighty, you annoying little things. Yep, I definitely see that I pushed the gamma filter a little too high. Still, it was necessary. Things were so dark before, it was barely watchable. Alrighty, Longstop headgate. You guys seems to be ready. Let's do this. You don't necessarily have to do too much work on those guys, but this might help, seeing as I'm not overgeared or anything. So yeah, nothing really special there, just a great yellow pelican. This guy will call a few reinforcements now and then, but he's really nothing particularly difficult to deal with. Basically the usual tank and spank from 4 earlier dungeons. This dungeon is actually a lot more linear than some of the early ones we've seen. Oh, more of these, huh? Hey, you. Shut up. Out of the way, Dragoon! It's actually cutting it rather close. I don't recall Dragoon having much positioning moves. They might have some, though. Black Mage is using Thunder too. Not sure that means he's pretty smart. Although if he intended to use them on the ads as well, well, that's not necessarily a bad move. Alright, annoying little things. Get back here. I seem to be holding aggro rather well since I've gotten shield out. Didn't do so well in the previous dungeon, but this one seems to be fine. I was wondering how many sprites we had, but it seems the only veteran is actually the Black Mage. That's fine. I actually don't mind grouping with less experienced players. The only thing that bothers me is Safsasha and such. Okay, everybody's there. Let's do this. Hey, you. Get here. That Dragoon chooses odd targets. Should probably pay closer attention. My healer is working overtime. Alrighty. Hey, you. How did that guy end up with something that snared him? For crying out loud. Really, my positioning there could be a tiny bit better. Just by moving over here, I'll keep the Drake out of the of the Dragoon's path. Alrighty. Let us be on our way. We could have gone up there, but there's really no real need to do so. We can head over right to the boss here. Okay, that's everybody. Let's go. Hey, you. So, yep, another giant drake. So there's the special mechanic for this fight. Brayflox will actually get pursued by a drake, and if you kill the drake, well, Brayflox will help you with bombs. Brayflox can tank it just fine, so nothing to really worry about. It does seem to be attacking the paladin a little. Ah, the dragoon. Why do I keep calling them paladins? For some reason, the dragoon seems intent on attacking what I'm not. That's a little strange. There we go. Brayflox is gonna assist us. Gobby boom! Shka! Fire boom! Over boom! Shka! Present for kindly uplander. Shka! Fire boom! Over boom! The thing is, I still have control over him, and yet that dragon keeps attacking him. Or drake, such as it is. So yep, it's not me having problem maintaining enmity, it's just how the boss works. All done. Let's see now. The way is over here, if I recall. Now this bit here is actually a tiny bit trickier. It's kind of a choose your path to the boss kind of deal. If I recall correctly, that way is the one with the least amount of people. So let's do that. Hey you! So yeah, basically giant lizards and flying fishes. What is this, Mario? That's right, I should probably be stunning that. Paladin did, though. Dragoon. What's wrong with me tonight? Hey you, stop that. Alrighty. More of these. Is there a way around those? Not really. I think this is the usual path that people take, if I'm not mistaken. So far, Dragoon is not giving me too much work. Great. As it turns out, not all classes are born equal at any levels. Especially early on, things like rogues actually deal a ton of damage. But that changed after a couple dungeons. Alrighty. So can we avoid that pugil? Doesn't look like it. Oh, damn it. Miscalculated that. Good thing I had that potion there. You, stop that. Did that like chimps, didn't we? Alrighty, let's do this. So, giant frog called Hellbender. What this guy will do isn't very difficult. Basically, he'll target people with bombs of mud and whatnot. And at some point, he'll also be attacking a few people with some types of bubble debuff. These people will need to be broken out of the bubbles so that they don't die. As the bubbles actually deal damage over time. The bubbles, they hurt my eyes. Friggin' bubbles. Queer bubble. That's what I was talking about. Hey you, stop that. Alrighty. Move, Dragoon, move! Hey, I didn't call it Paladin this time. Yay me! Meh, Black Mage seems to be using Thunder 1 on this one, so he's probably not one of the slow kids. Oh, another of those queer bubbles, eh? Another freaking bubble. And there's Hyatar. This is one of the time where the game actually throws you a curveball. A boss showing up and actually killing the other boss. Or eating him, such as it is. And a friggin' dragon to boot. And guess what? This guy is gonna be the final boss of this particular instance. But right now he runs with his tail between his legs. Legs with an S, actually. Alrighty. Let's be on our way. Alrighty. Really, I gotta say, that's about the best I've done tanking in all of the dungeons we've done so far. Probably the fact that I'm tired actually makes me a little less edgy, shall we say. Now here's actually a bit of a special section. If further down you go to a certain place, you actually find a curl mini-boss, so to speak. And this one will actually drop a special treasure. Doesn't have any special loot, but the treasure is special. Oh, lovely. Probably should have pulled that one anyway. That was a little slow. What can I say? With my back turned to the front all the time, well, sometimes I don't see things happen. Alrighty. Come on, you guys. Strange how only one of them actually did an AoE. The fact that it's a mod BS is probably the reason why. So yeah, you see this little camp over there, that's actually where the curl is. There we are, the dragon's lair. I wish I could make a reference to the actual game, but I've never played it myself. Anyway, cutscene, blah blah blah. Let us be on our way. Oh, Dragoon is watching it. Good for him. Or her, rather. Tough to tell, really. Oh. Come on, dearie. Alrighty. So this one is a tad more complicated than usual, but nothing too difficult to handle. Come on, hon. Like you to be here if I can But really nothing too difficult. Basically avoid the line AoE. He'll also do something special at some point, but basically we'll get to it once he actually uses it. That poison AoE speed, though. There's the first instance of that. So that dragon dropped a puddle of poison, and if he stays close to it, well, he'll actually recover. But since I got him out of that particular spot, well, we'll be fine. There's another one. That doesn't leave me a whole lot of space. But he seems to have spit it a little further, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I'm kind of putting myself in a corner here. Still, we've avoided actually falling prey to him recovering so far. So that's good, I suppose. More toxic vomit. Still too far away. Oh, but he is recovering right now. Let's see if I can move him a little. Come on. Move him further. Oh well. Okay. Get over here, you. Come on. This is a tough fight, I think, I gotta admit. But then again, that's probably me that's the problem with those sloppy positioning. Still, did what I could. Now would be a good time for a Dragoon limit break. But guy probably don't know. Or girl, such as it is. Oh, but Black Mage got it. Good. And meteor to the face. Well, not actual meteors, but meh. Close enough. And done. Level up too. Oh god, doesn't she won. Good for her. Commendations to the Black Mage, unfortunately. Come on, dearie. Switching her equipment. Good for her. Got a commendation. Not as much as I had hoped, but okay. People probably commended the healer. That's usually how it goes. So, Brayflox all talk. Psh, caw. Goodly Uplander has tanks of Gobbyflock, I mean. Flighty beast what Strixie foe, but Uplander outwitted it with plan making. Uplander has goodly head for fighty think. Brayflox happy gives tasty fresh gobby treats to clever Uplander. Cheese is stinky sweet gobby treat, special make with secret gobby ears. Whatever that means. No party complete without gobby gouda, Brayflox every say. Ever say, perhaps? I don't know. Anyway, let's deliver that cheese. Not much of a cheese guy myself. Like it on things like, you know, pizza and whatnot, but not on other stuff. Especially not as is. My parents have this thing where they take cheese and put them with nature chips or whatnot. I find that disgusting. My mother also like cheese in milk and whatnot. Ugh. Sniff, sniff. I gather you solved Brayflox's little problem. Oh, it was very little. By the gods, that unholy stench. This is, definitely goblin cheese. Judging from the smell, this should be quite flavorful. How is it made? It's best you remain ignorant of such things. I still remember when I learned what kind of milk they use. Shudder. Probably those strange frogs or whatnot. Drakes doesn't make sense, does it? Wisekite would like to congratulate you on a job well done. Bravo, Kukumo. Thanks to you, our guest shall be honored with a marvelous banquet. But what good is an exotic feast without an equally exquisite aperitif? Your work is not yet finished. Before we can discuss Titan, you must first bring us a suitable wine. Speak with Durstwhite over yonder. He is overseeing preparations for the banquet, and will tell you what you must do. But that is something we'll take care of next time. For now, we'll be returning to Limsa and having a look at those cutscenes we missed. Never cared for fancy food myself, too. Even for wine, really. Prefer beer, but that probably makes me unsophisticated, or the fact that I haven't taken much wine anyway. Wine at times tastes a little like water to me. Meh. Probably because I've never had a really proper good one. Cheap wine will taste like cheap wine, I suppose. White one isn't terrible. No, that wasn't right. It's close to the F Castle, aye, but what we want is actually the inn, which is right over here. Fancy colorful gear that guy had. Let me in, shopkeep. Or innkeep, such as it is. So. Brayflox's Longstop. It's a good thing we managed to get it done, because as it turns out, next time we may actually get to Titan. Despite this actually being involved in the plot leading to it, but as I said, pointless busy work, basically. We've got dragons. Kinda like their dragon models. Change me for the old nonsense that we usually see, kinda like those dragons in Game of Thrones. Not very good for a thumbnail, though. This might be better. This, though, might work. Gonna be a little difficult, but I can pull it off. Duty complete! Haha! And yep, so that's it for that. I figure we can finish Siren, whatnot. Why not, I mean. Okay, so we've done this thing. You go ahead and put up the dispel. Elara will put up her thing. That might have been dangerous, but it's just Cecil, so we should be fine. The Cecil is actually fairly tanky, as it turns out. So no waste for her. Neither does she get regen. It's actually not necessary. The first time I did her, I didn't even dispel her. But it helps. Ouchies. Okay. You go ahead, you too. I actually thought about using Orlando for this fight, but as it turns out he was a little squishy. For whatever reason. It is true that D-Cecil can take the heat. So go with Garland's chain. As it turns out, I got Seymour's chain. I tried this and this. Didn't work too well, what with her doing silence and whatnot. Plus, the number of hits on it is actually exactly the same as Garland. The only difference is that this way, the one from Seymour actually reduced delay for people using abilities early on. But it has less hits than Garland does. I'm using Ninjutsu on Onion Knight because I don't really have anything else, but usually I would want a dark move. Anyway. Lizaga. Binding Cold. Raging Storm. Endless Darkness. Awesome. Might seem like we're in the middle of it, but we'll be done by 35 seconds, that's for sure. Unless I get really unlucky, which is unlikely. What with Sephiroth having access to his weird trance and whatnot. Actually wasn't aware this was actually a trance. Didn't seem like it early on. I've also gotten the 6-star Demon's Cross ability, which has been helping me out a bit lately. But yep, 5 hits at the cap of damage. Given that he's using them twice, that should help out build up the Solberg gauge. Our regen is off, which means Elara's gonna have to use her big move soon. But we should be fine for at least 1 hit. It is strange that Sephiroth is not doing much more damage against her. Usually he's pretty much my highest damage dealer as far as dark damage go. Although D-Cecil can technically do more, but he takes quite a bit of wind-up. Orlando, though, that guy kicks asses. Even 3 imperils on this. That might actually help me out once I reach 5-star Magicits. Not that I have high hopes of me actually succeeding at those. But then again, apparently 6 stars are even worse. And we're getting Dark Odin soon. Ouchies. Thankfully, we've got that shield that ARR put up by casting Kurada. Could probably technically finish him off with what we've already got, but... Okay, Sephiroth, you keep doing what you've been doing. Now that you've gotten Dark, you should deal a half-decent amount of damage. As for the Cecil, he needs another go before he can actually Arcane Overstrike. And now she's gonna counter with Kuraja. Annoying little thing. Yeah, that's why it's so difficult to actually bring her down. She keeps healing herself. But Cecil will make short work of her. Haste, huh? Fancy. Artless Angel. And finish her off. Oops. Missing just short. Savage Lunatic Voice will be what we needed. Now let us just finish this. Cecil won't be able to do this in less than 2 seconds, but it was a nice attempt. Sephiroth could also potentially finish her off, seeing as Garland is still up. But yeah, as I said, the power level on my Dark team has gotten a little lower, what with this being 4-star. Them's the breaks, kids. And it's over. Even beat my record, too. Awesome. That's scary, huh? And boom goes the dynamite. Just like that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna finish farming her, and then we can look at doing Addies, which is the last one I need for 4-star Magicits. People on Reddit are probably gonna complain about me doing an achievement thread on this again. Eh. And Siren Magicit. Could be useful. I would have preferred Ivrai, but yeah. I'm alright with it. So anyway, I'm afraid that's going to be it for the time being. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like what you're seeing, maybe follow the stream, maybe leave a comment if you're on YouTube. And that was the Great Pumpkin. You all have a pleasant time now. Bye-bye.